Curious George is the main character in a series of children's books that's been popular for generations. Theater for Young America brings 3 of those books to life here at the H&R Block City Stage at Union Station. Here to talk to us today about Curious George, about the current season, as well as the programming that happens not just here but outside of Union Station is Artistic Director Valerie Mackey. Valerie, thank you for having us here at one of your locations.
My goodness, I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you. This is our main location, and we've been here for 12 years, and we love this location. We love being in the center of the city, and so much energy and so many good things coming here in this area, the Kaufman and all the arts.
Yes.
You guys.
Thank you.
And filling our city with great things for people to come and see and people to experience here in this city that we love so much.
Well, and you've been here for 12, but the Theater for Young America has been around since the 70s, and I didn't know that you were the oldest children's theater in Kansas City.
Yeah, we're the oldest equity theater in Kansas, actually. And we started in 1974, and we were with the Waldo Astoria Children's Theater, and we were during the day while they would do, the shows at night for the dinner theater.
So you've been a great part of Kansas City history. Theater for Young America has.
Absolutely.
What's the secret to your longevity, do you think?
You know, we tell our stories honestly. We have a community of people that come and they know what to count on us. We're going to tell the story. We're going to bring books to life in beautiful ways. And we go out to the communities as well. We see in the last few years, we see about 40,000, we serve about 40,000 people in our Kansas City region every year, either here at our main stage and in the city stage in Union Station, or on tour. And then we do some shows out at Wonderscope Children's Museum over in Kansas. And then we have some classes there as well. And then we have some classes at Avila. And so.
So education is a huge part of what you do.
Absolutely.
It's because you also have Q&As after the shows here, so that if there are any questions about what children just saw, they can get them answered by the actors and the people involved.
We answer them honestly. They ask and we tell them what it's like. They experience it. I really think it takes that educational component home, because then they see it, then they think, I can do that too. And then they go home, find their favorite book. We encourage them to then bring it to life. When you have an emotional response to something that you see, like a book or something in history, when it's dramatized, you remember it. You remember it always. And I have kids come back and they're bringing their kids now and they say, well, remember when I learned about Harriet Tubman and I saw a play here and her husband, they used this quilt, and they remember that. So it increases their retention and their learning, and then they can relate these stories to other people, and it continues.
And you not only have children out in the audience, you have children participating in the plays themselves, which is so important.
Oh, yeah. I love the moment when they realize that they're on stage, that they're really performing. And so we foster that development through our acting class program, which is really in stages of learning. It's kind of a trajectory where they learn different things each year, coming then to the troopers class, which is our high school class. And these kids are going to college with really some great knowledge under their belt. And then we give them opportunities we do 2 shows a year. One show during the main year where we use students in age-appropriate roles, and then we have one in the summer as well. And it's always, it's a great energy to have the students on stage, because the children in the audience really identify with them. And they have learned so quickly. It's like immersion. They are immersed in this, working with professional actors, and then they are doing these magical things on stage. And their learning goes up. And that's why the schools are so open to letting them come and do shows and then go back to school and do their extra work outside of school, because it's extremely educational for them,
Well, Curious George is supported by the Neighborhood Tourist Development
Yes.
Fund. Tell us more about Curious George.
Curious George, I love the story of Curious George. These books were written, and so they've seen a lot of generations look at them, and some of it is dated, and some of it is. It continues because it's about a young monkey learning about this new human culture. I mean, he's not with other animals. He's with humans, and so he goes to a hospital and is with other children in a hospital, and yet he's a monkey. So of course he jumps on the record player and tries to ride it, and of course he's a mischievous kind of character, and because he's curious. I mean, in fact, the man in the yellow hat says he's too curious. And that's true. And he's curious of life. And I think that's kind of how a lot of kids are too. And so they love watching him.
Where would people be able to find information about your show times and about your programming?
Simple, tya.org. Our website has everything on it.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you do here at Union Station and throughout Kansas City.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate the city and the NTDF funds supporting the arts in Kansas City.
It's our pleasure.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/NTDF.